I'm hoping by now that coming up with a piecewise function given a scenario is getting to be a little bit repetitive, and you're understanding the moving pieces here. So let's finish up this this lesson with this last video. Here you've got an internet service provider, you've got a following high-speed internet service schedule. You've got a monthly service charge of $18, and so again we want to make sure we define our variables. We're going to let x equal, so it looks like the cost depends on the hours of usage, so we're just going to let x equal the number of hours of usage, and then y is just going to be our cost. And our very first cost up through the first 50 hours would just be $18, and we get unlimited up to 50 hours. So our cost, at least between x, the number of hours being between 0 and 50, we have a cost of $18. And then the next part is tricky. You can't just jump right into the piecewise function. That's why I like to draw the graph. And let's do that up here. Let's try to squeeze that in. Again, if we go up to 50 hours, then we're going to be paying $18. No matter how many hours we use, the cost will still be $18. Okay, right to there. And then as soon as we go to 51 hours, we're going to be paying 25 cents more per hour, and so we have a little bit of an increase in the rate at which we have to pay our fee for that internet service provider. And if we just evaluate how much we would pay if we use 51 hours, we know it's 25 cents more than the $18, and so we have $18.25. Now that's all the way up through 100, and if we go all the way up through 100, we know we have a per hour rate. So that's another linear part of this piecewise linear function. And at the 100, we have to figure out the equation for this, so then we would know how much money we would have to pay. So let's go ahead and do that. We come up with the coordinates of this point right here, 50, 18, and then let's just use 100. So since we're there, 100, now what would 100 be? Actually, we can't do that yet. We have to do 51. So 51, because we can just add 25 cents. We already figured that out. So we have $18.25. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and use the 50 and the 18 for our x1, y1. We already know our slope is 0.25, so that's our slope, 25 cents per hour. And so if we put that into, let me see, where's my green? If we put that into our y minus y1 equation, so this is our y1 is our 18, the slope, the rate of change is 25 cents, and then we have x minus x1, which is 50, and if we multiply through by the 0.25, we have 0.25x. Now 1/4 of 50 is 12.5, and then if we add 18 to both sides, we get 0.25x minus 12.5 plus 18, that would be 5.5, so plus 5.5. So that's the second piece of this piecewise function. That's there, and so what we want to do is we want to figure out what's y of 100. So we want to know where we're at right there. Y of 100 is 0.25 times 100, that's 25, plus 5.5, that's 30.5. So we have another ordered pair up there, which is 100, 30.5, and then we have yet another tier to this payment plan of $1 per hour after the first 100 hours. And so our rate of change, or rate at which we have to pay our fee, is going up again. And so let's figure out. So we have 1. So again, let's back up here. We have $30.50 after. That's how much we'd have to pay if we used 100 hours. And then 101 hours would be $1 more, so that's $31.50. And so we have a 101, 31.50, and we have the slope of that line. Slope is 1, and then we have our x1, y1 right there. So we're going to have a third equation, y minus y1, which is 30.5, equals the slope 1 times x minus x1, which is 100. And then we're going to go ahead and add 30.5 to both sides, and we get x minus 100 plus 30.5 would be 69.5. So minus 69.5. So that's our third piece. So when we put all of those together, we get a three-piece piecewise function. The first piece is just 18. Your cost is 18 when the number. So this is helpful in writing this because we can summarize what we found. Our cost is $18 for the first 50 hours. Our cost is 0.25x, so 25 cents per hour, plus 5.5 when x is between 50 and 100, including 100 but not including 50. And then finally, if we use more than 100 hours, the cost is x minus 69.5 when x is greater than 100. So that's quite a bit there, and if you can do that problem, I think you can do just about any problem. And then how much would you be charged if you use 78? Well, 78 is in between 50 and 100, so the cost of the service by using 78 hours would be 0.25 times 78 plus plus 5.5, and that's going to be, what's 1/4 of 78? Well, half of 78 is 39, and then half of 39 is 19.5. So you've got 19.5 plus 5.5, and that would be 25. So $25 you would have to pay if you used 78 hours of internet service.